Nate here, and I'm here today with...
Jason Turgeon, producer of Figment Boston.
And we're here at Figment. Again, we've got String Theory behind us. And just getting it rolling with a couple questions about this whole event. This is a really cool thing. There's a lot of people here this weekend. And how did it get started?
They were doing Figment in New York starting in 2007. And I found out about it in 2009, and I just sent them an email and said, hey, that sounds awesome. Can I do this in Boston? And 4 years later, this is our fourth Figment in Boston. We've got probably, 4,000 or 5,000 people out here today, 100 pieces of art, a late night dance party in the middle of the city.
You said 100 pieces.
Plus or minus. It can be hard to tell one from another.
Now, how did you do your call to artists?
We put it out there. We have some lists that a lot of artists are on, and we asked them to tell their friends. We got some professional arts organizations put it out for us, and it's an open call. We put it out there every year for about 3 months.
And it's a free event to pedestrians and the artists. And
it's free to everyone. There's no fee to submit. There's absolutely no commercialism or sales of any kind allowed here. We don't have any vendors. We don't have any advertising. We don't have any sponsors. It's all about just being in the experience and just interacting with art for its own sake. And so it's really unique like that. No one's trying to sell you some trinket fridge magnet thing that you put on your fridge, and we really discourage people from handing out business cards and trying to get commissions, and no one will sell you a painting here. You can't bring something home and hang it on your wall.
That's kind of cool. So you have to really take the experience you had today with you into the future and remember it and cherish what you got right now. Now, one more question I had is what would be what would you say the mission statement for Figment is?
Well, actually, we have a complicated mission statement. We have 11 core principles that we operate under, which I'm not gonna. I don't know if I could actually list all of them, but some of them are, some of the big takeaways here. Besides that, we call it decommodification, which is the absence of any kind of sales or sponsorship. One of the big ones that has really helped us is that we're a Leave No Trace event. So we ask every artist to have a Leave No Trace plan before they make their art. And when we leave, we take every cigarette butt, every bottle cap. The place is spotless, and that's one of the things that kind of gets us invited back year after year. And that's something that most people have just never dealt with. They're used to events that come in and trash the place and leave.
So you really try and bring a point about the footprint that people are making and tell people to be aware of their impact.
Right, and we're also about the temporary experience of the art. So it's just like, was it a dream or was it a figment of my imagination? Because you come back Monday and you never would know that any of this was here. There won't be a mark in the grass. There won't be one of these strings left over. These tents will be gone, and it'll just be like, did that actually happen?
So cool. Now, are there any maybe 2 or 3 pieces today that really stood out to you?
Well, this is probably our biggest sculptural piece today, String Theory, which is why we're sitting in front of it. This is one of my favorites. I like this piece a lot because these are artists that we haven't worked with before. They just found us somewhere, and they had not built this for any other festival. They said, I want to do this piece, and they dreamed it up, and they built it. They told me they finished it this morning at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, I had a really nice interview actually with the Michelle, the woman who put it together and designed it. She's an architect, I think. So cool, yeah, so cool.
That's one of my favorites. If you hike down the Greenway, we have 5 parcels of the Greenway, which is just amazing to me. We've got like half a mile of art in the middle of downtown Boston. About 2/3 of the way down, there's this big thing made out of traffic cones. It's really cool, and that's another guy who found us somewhere on Facebook and thought, well, that sounds really cool, and he built this sculpture out of traffic cones, and there's kids crawling all over it, and there's ring toss, and he's probably going to come back with something a little bit more and different next year. So you kind of see his wheels turning as he sees everyone. And then tonight, for the first time ever at I think any of our Figments, we're doing Figment After Dark. And so we're going to condense down to just one parcel right at Dewey Square. And we're going to have pretty much a late night dance party with a ton of really cool light-based, interactive LEDs and projections and really fun stuff.
All right, that sounds really cool.
One of those projects that's really worth mentioning is called Video Bleep. We aren't bringing the full Video Bleep experience because permitting it for the city of Boston is tough, but just the portions of it they're bringing are just something that I don't think anyone in Boston outside of these guys as friends has ever seen before. They've got 5 different huge projectors. They'll be projecting all over stuff. They're going to be video mapping stuff. They got their own DJs, and they set up a Dolby 5.1 surround like you would have in your house, only they do it with giant speakers. and you kind of wander around and get this really immersive music and light experience.
Cool. So right now we're talking about you as the Figment guy. Now, what about the rest of you? What do you do with your time?
I have a day job. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I sit at one of these desks in one of these downtown office buildings, and I do bureaucracy stuff. Sort of the opposite of what I do at Figment. But I'm fortunate in that I have a pretty flexible job, and I work Monday to Thursday, 10 hours a day there, and I work Friday to Sunday, probably 12 hours a day on Figment.
All year?
I take breaks. I also have other projects, but certainly from sort of February through August, 6 months out of the year.
All right. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, we have a core team of 15 that work year-round on this, and we have over 100 Day of Event volunteers, and then we have over 100 artists. And so we have a year-round fundraising effort. We have year-round outreach, communications teams, and we're just one event of Figment. You know, it started in New York. We were the first one to bring it out of New York, and what I'm really proud of is that once we'd taken it out of New York, people started saying, hey, I can do that in my city too. And Jackson, Mississippi called up and said, hey, we want to do it here. So they were the third city. And then Detroit the next year. And now, you know, I think this is the 6th year of Figment. They're now 20. This is the 20th Figment. And it's going to be in 3 countries and 2 continents this summer. Where every week the executive director of Figment from New York is getting another phone call for another city that's thinking about doing it. And it's all just people like me who found out about it somehow and said, I want to do that in my city. I'm going to make the free time and call my friends, and we're just going to do it. There's no funding attached, no nothing. It's just like, let's help you start an art fest.
Wow. So cool. Well, wonderful to speak with you today, Jason. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing the After Dark dancing. Yeah. And I heard there's more of this going on tomorrow?
There will be, 12 to 6 tomorrow.
12 to 6 tomorrow.